names here is because there is no limit to having a thought or an idea for a startup. Look at Jumping Minds. They are basically using AI and a human touch to deliver mental health care. They have incorporated AI into healthcare, and it's basically coded algorithmic treatment to mental problems, yet with empathy. It can't get better. There is no room for error in dealing with a mental patient because you've involved science, robotics, as well as humans in it. Look at Tinkerbell. She is teaching Braille through video games. Like there are children learning Braille through video games. There is hype, and these basically are changing influencers into this very interesting word which they call creatorpreneurs. I think there is an influx of influencers due to Instagram, social media and all of it. How many of you sitting in this room remember names? Masoom, Minawala, that's it? Or maybe one or two more. We of course have our local geniuses, but that's it, right? We aren't able to encash onto an untapped market of business in the creative field as simple as Instagram. They're doing that. They have found that little gap. They know that there are very creative people out there. They know how to create content, but they don't know how to change it into a business. We teach them how to do it, and they're making more money than any influencers can. So my idea of putting these examples, there are many more, these are homegrown, is that there is no limit to the thought. If this one particular table, if I ask them to do a little homework, that starting from our ma'am over here to Shivani to all the other ladies present here, there would be 50 ideas in the next 10 seconds. I can promise you that. Alright? To skim it out and make one a business is what a startup is all about. I want to show you this quick video of this 19-year-old boy from Udaipur. What do you think he did? Chalo, let's just, this has no prizes. What do you think he did? What must have been his go-to business idea? Quick, 2 answers. Guess it. You can't get much out of this. What must he have done? Handicrafts, okay. Something to do with technology. Alright, hold your card. Can I just ask you to press the, maybe the space button, that's the play. No, we go on further. How do I, let's see this. Alright, don't worry. I'll probably request Shivani to circulate it on the WhatsApp group. It's a beautiful video. Can we start? I'll tell you what this boy did. He said, Indian fruits की value ही नहीं कोई डालता. We have some amazing fruits. हम avocado के पीछे भागते हैं, हम blueberries के पीछे भागते हैं, हम all foreign berries के पीछे भागते हैं, and we don't tap the potential of Indian fruits. This was his thought. छोटा सा thought है. And he really wanted to bring Indian fruits in mainstream. He didn't know how to do it. फल जाकर हम खरीदते हैं तो कभी काटने का टाइम नहीं मिलता. बच्चों को हम पीछे पीछे लेके भागते हैं. मुश्किल से मैंगो की थोड़ी सी रिस्पेक्ट है हमारे कंट्री में थैंकफुली. उसके अलावा किसी फ्रूट की कदर नहीं है. And he really wanted to tell the public the benefits as well as the consumability of Indian fruits. He started a very simple project of Indian fruit chocolate bars. He would take Indian fruits, convert them into chocolate bars. It's called sarang.co. I'll be happy to share all the details with Shivani and she can share this video further. I actually literally plagiarized it. I screen recorded and did all the illegal stuff to get it for you guys. But I'll 100% share it after doing so much of illegal nonsense. So the idea is, it was fruits. I want my Indian peer to enjoy Indian fruits. They can't eat contaminated in pulps or juices, preservatives डल जाते हैं, unhealthy हो जाता है. Chocolates, dark chocolates are a good source of certain, well, components. At the same time, they're very easy to sell for women who want to stay healthy. It's dark chocolate with natural fruits. And we tap the potential of that Indianness that we want in our products. So his idea was very simple, chocolates, fruits. But Indian market को immediately cater किया. Foreign lands love the ethnicity of such ideas. They started looking at his products. Oh, Indian fruits. We don't normally get aavle ka chocolate. It's such a local berry, right? And it became a huge idea. So again, these examples are interesting because I want you all to start thinking out of the box. I want आप सोचें कि कोई regular काम को करना ही startup नहीं होता. Any idea that has a spark can be made fun. If we go very quickly, these are the possible answers, not exhaustive. बहुत और चीजें इसमें आ सकती हैं. Possible answers of what a startup is. We discussed innovation, we discussed problem solving. Startup grows fast, it goes to the masses very quickly. Scalability अगर आपके project और business में नहीं है, it's not a good business idea. Many examples. I'm sure हम local examples, I wouldn't know of the names, but let's think about it. आपने कोविड में बहुत सारे projects मशरूम होते हुए देखे होंगे. कोविड के बाद वो खत्म हो गए. The clientele was पड़ोस, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा 3 गलियाँ, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लुधियाना if they knew the right people, and that's it. Where was the scalability? Did they tap that potential into putting up a unit, employing more people, converting the product into something reachable? I'm sure they have some amazing masks बने वही बन के खत्म हो गए. कोविड क्या? I know of many big units who stopped producing things after that. Why wasn't there scalability? They could have reached out to 15 hospitals after that to continue the work. Because we didn't have the growth factor in the mind. Scalable is very correlated. Flexible, times change, business can change. Keto आया, मैं food का example बार-बार लेकर आ रही हूँ. Apologies for that. I'll think of more creative examples. But there is a fad called keto. Keto might have benefits. If I am an entrepreneur into catering, मैं immediately accommodate करके 4 चीजें menu में डालूंगी for that. Detox is a big deal. I should be flexible to put in certain things for anyone who walks into my restaurant or goes online to order with me. If sustainable clothing is a big deal, I should be innovative and flexible enough in my business that I know how to accommodate bamboo, price it right, put it into basic bed sheets if nothing else. I should be flexible for the changing times. Startups come with a little rider of higher risk, and that's very simple. When we discuss finance, we'll discuss the risk factor a little bit more. But yes, we are prone to a little risk. That's also a feature of startups. Strong company culture. Can anyone tell me why is a startup famous and infamous for a very strong company culture? It's very logical. Excessive teamwork, and why do you think that is? It's correlated to the number of people employed. Very small numbers. Very, very small numbers, and that's one of the reasons. Can we just have one giveaway for our friend there? Thank you so much. Very small numbers. See, when we are working with a team of 4 to 5 people, that's another feature of a startup. आप जब तक pitch deck ready करते हो, आप जब तक prototype ready करते हो, आपको जब तक finance आता है, you can't go all out having some 150 employees in a building and paying rents of a couple of lakhs. And your working capital is not that much. So when you're working with that less number of employees, there is a lot of teamwork, there is a lot of team discord as well, and that's exactly why you have a very strong company culture. You're definitely young in age. When I say young in age, I don't mean the entrepreneurs are young in age. The company is very native. Smaller teams, very tech oriented. Again, I would like to make it very clear, it's not a choice anymore to not involve tech in your business. आप अगर ट्रेडिशनल होकर कुछ काम करना चाहेंगे, आप रेस में बहुत पीछे रह जाएंगे. दिस इज परिवर्तन, ये समय के साथ का चेंज है. टेक्नोलॉजी को, that was one of my mistakes by the way. If I'm discussing the errors, that was mine. We thought brick and mortar the way to go, and why not human touch and this and that. No, I'm actually working right now with teams to convert everything online. Material se lekar digitization and education can't be kept away, and it didn't have to take a COVID to teach us Zoom and everything. ये तो फोरसाइट जिनको थी उनको सबको पता था. बायजूस बहुत पहले आ गया था. बायजूस डिड नॉट कम इन कोविड. सो टेक्नोलॉजी कैन नॉट बी kept away from any prototype of a business. It doesn't have to be a SaaS or a tech business. It cannot be away from any business. And of course, outside funding is a very common feature, but not necessarily. I was a bootstrap company. Bootstrapping means family money, khud ka capital. I did not go out to the investors. If I had to, today if I have to expand, I might. That's a choice. I mean, financing is a choice, but yes, most startups are financed from outside. Any questions so far? Anything that's bothering you? Any point that's not making sense? Yes, please. Sure. So that's exactly what our next slide is. When we do the ecosystem and the 7 steps, outside investors come when your prototype is ready, your pitch deck is ready, you worked out your entire business plan. And there are 4 types of investors that you normally go to. I'll come to your question then. Alright, thanks for asking. That's a standard ecosystem. So when I say startups, आपको ये वाले stakeholders 100% दिखेंगे. आप entrepreneur होंगे ही होंगे. You will have investors, you might not have investors. Even if you're putting in your own capital, well, you're an entrepreneur and an investor. You would want your money back after some point of time. Incubators and accelerators. My next question for a nice giveaway. What are incubators and what are accelerators? Incubators, accelerators. Okay. Sure. Scale it up, make your errors right. Perfect. So now this one you'll have to get up and take it for yourself. That's for you. Thank you so much. Perfect answer. Thank you. Clearly that. Incubators, like the word itself. Incubate हम क्यों करते हैं? A premature baby goes inside an incubator. We put something yet to come to maturity or to preserve it in an incubator because वो उसके gestation period में वो बड़ा होता है, ripe होता है, ready होता है. Incubators do that classic job. They basically try and cover all the many aspects, right from all the 7 aspects that we will start right now. That an incubator does. An accelerator, if today I need to understand how to scale up my educational programs, I would not go to an incubator. I have a prototype, I know this product has potential, I know इसकी market में ज़रूरत है, I just don't know how to scale it up. I don't know मैं जाऊँ कैसे, approach कैसे करूँ, या इस product को मैं थोड़ा better कैसे करूँ. So that's an accelerator versus an incubator. There are many out there, by the way. AIC, Early Incubation, that's our Government of India's platform. There are some very nice private programs like Stanford. I think LMA should approach it. I'd be very happy to discuss it with you, Shivani. You need to, it has to be collaborated with an organization, and then the organization can recruit members to incubated by them or accelerated by them. It's a beautiful program. This Stanford scene works very well. So yeah, I want a little respect of my children, by the way. So yeah, clearly I think if you can associate your women with it, it's beautiful. You have many local incubators for Punjab in itself, and even in the northern zone, a lot of them working to help women, men, ideas, irrespective of gender alike. Young children, if you have a very strong individual back at home in terms of your child or your grandchild. Maybe your husband has a beautiful idea, maybe your brother does. Please contact good incubators, get enrolled. It's worth the 6 months. We didn't have these opportunities. It's worth the 6 months of your time, and they're not very expensive, by the way. You have support organizations. When I say support organizations, you can't work beyond. You need financial institutions. You need, let's say, you need tech services. You would need website designers. These are all your building blocks around the main idea of your business. Government policies, they keep changing, be updated, and I hope they work in your favor. Mostly they do. It's a matter of attaining knowledge about your field. There are exemptions, there are laws, there are funds, there are a lot of loans, good loans available. Make use of these government policies as well. Let's quickly browse through the 7 steps. I hope I was clear so far. Any doubt? Lovely. Identifying the problem. I need not stress enough. हर idea business में बदलने लायक नहीं होता है. If I'm bursting your bubble right now, my apologies, but this is the hard reality. You want to come in the market with your great designs for clothes. Ask yourself, where is the gap? What am I filling in? And please don't think about Ludhiana, Chandigarh, Jalandhar, Amritsar. No. If you want to be a business, have a model which can be applied across the world. Why the country? You have digital platforms now changing lives of everyone. So there's no physical boundary to your business. So please think of the gap, whether your idea fulfills or fits into that gap. How are you different basically is what your identification of problem step is. Don't come to that conclusion in 1 day, 2 days, 3 months. It could take you 6 months, a year. Explore, but be very sure that I know when I launch this product, no one has done it or no one has done it like me. There are many out there who are providing health drinks. No one has done it like me. It could be packaging. It could be the freebies associated with it. It could be a delivery method. Something that people will say, "Isi ke paas jana hai." All right? And by this, quality of the product, बढ़िया product वो तो है, वो तो होना ही है. What is it that is different in your product should be the answer to identifying the problem. Your USP, absolutely right. Research and validate the market. How many of us over here in this room think customers are the boss? Like customers dictate us.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All hands should go up.
Customers are more.
Absolutely. Something like survey and research before you start and feedbacks after you begin. If they are neglected, God help you. Again, a mistake we did. We were very fortunate that there weren't many players at that time because we just landed. We did not really seek out much research or whatever. But do we take the feedback seriously? Super seriously. Super seriously. Why? Because word of mouth is the best way of marketing your product. And if you are taking feedback seriously, that means you're acceptable to change, and that's what your customer also wants. Market research, extremely important. This chapter was my favorite when I was learning it, even off late in the Stanford program, because we learned about customer personas, how to conduct the research. That's for another day. That's probably, hopefully, you guys get incubated very soon and learn it the right way. Too less a time to get into the details. But please don't neglect step number 2, which is research and validating the market. मुझे पता है कि I have this excellent idea of a portable French press coffee maker with probably the perfect coffee pods. Maybe this is my idea. There is a trend of coffee drinkers now. Everyone can carry a tea bag, but not many are able to carry tea pods because हर होटल में French press machine नहीं होता है, simply पानी उबालो and coffee घोलो होता है. So why can't we coffee drinkers enjoy our cup of coffee too? Now, does the market really want it? मुझे चाहिए तो मेरे को आइडिया बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है. When I go out in the market, whether इतने कॉस्टिंग पे, इस मार्केटिंग स्ट्रैटेजी पे इतने लोगों को ये चाहिए कि नहीं चाहिए, वो तो मेरी सर्वे मुझे बताएगी. And if my survey says that not really so important, we rather go and explore a local coffee shop. हम इतनी दूर ट्रैवल करके जा रहे हैं रूम में कॉफी पीने के लिए नहीं, नीचे उतरकर 3 कॉफी शॉप्स हैं, हमको तो वो देखनी है. What will happen to my capital? It will be a negative. I will never get my profits back, and that's your loss, your first loss. And then what do? You shut the company, you shut your project, and you say, yeah, startups are for losers. मैं तो job में ठीक था. You missed a very important step. Market didn't need your product. Okay? Please don't ignore this step.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
So when you say the market research, now let's say that we take a simple idea of what you just said about the French press.
Sure.
Isn't it a scare of the leakage of the idea when we are sending a survey?
Yeah.
It's right now in our brain.
Sure.
When we are putting it out to the public,
Sure.
you know what I mean? That
Sure.
someone might just get an idea कि भाई ये idea तो मुझे अच्छा लग रहा है.
Sure.
So
Alright.
just a random.
Sure. So see, what normally goes out of the survey is a larger picture of acceptability of a concept. Even if that concept is very new and someone wants to kind of copy it, in this large, big, huge world, someone is already thinking about it. That should not stop you from doing the survey because you're not really giving a prototype out. There is a step, in fact, which should be bothersome ideally, prototyping. Apple did not just launch a watch, it prototyped it. When they saw the world take over, like people wearing prototype watch, feeling like, oh my god, I want 10 more. That's when they launched it. So the fear of your idea getting copied or duplicated should not still stop you from a market survey. If it is so unique, then even more. Because you don't know there are players in the market. And it's a very generic survey which wants to understand the acceptability without giving the fine features away.
My daughter, my sister's daughter-in-law, she is in America. She saw that there were no eggless cakes there, and
Right.
people demanded them.
Right.
So she started her own business, and it's very, very successful there.
Lovely.
So she posts on Facebook, and she's very, very successful.
Lovely. That's
So
brilliant.
eggless cakes, so many people want it.
Simple idea, but she just probably understood within her community there aren't many people who are doing eggless cakes. She can go way beyond to survey, if beyond the locality they need it. She can start, eggless cakes have a beautiful shelf life. She can start packaging them, delivering them, time up at Target, Costco's, all these 24/7s, placing them there. So once you have a great idea, once you have a knack of delivering that idea, please scale up would be my next suggestion. Going ahead, creating branding and a marketing strategy. It's called GTM, go to marketing strategy. You need to know how are you approaching your people. You have an idea, validated by the market. You know that भाई product तो है हाथ में. I know presentation वहाँ जाके टक टक करना एक टाइम पे बहुत मुश्किल होता था. किसी को तो ये आइडिया आया होगा, चाहे डेल को ही आया होगा या HP को ही आया होगा कि why can't there be a freedom of people or mobility of speakers? Let's give them a ticker, let's give them a slide changer. When they surveyed, they said, yeah, bilkul. What should have been their GTM of the manufacturers? Har laptop company se tie-up. That we make the most light, portable, manageable, battery-operated slide changers. Our marketing strategy is connecting with every laptop company out there. Simple. Simple. Even cameras today work on these remotes.
You can also coordinate with the Zomato story.
The Zomato story.
Started just sharing the values.
Simple. People wanting food all the time. People not wanting to go get it. हम पहुंचा देते हैं. Blinkit. That's a home grown company. 15 minutes, whatever you want. Not everyone can make their help staff run. नहीं होता कई बार. 15 मिनट में हम ला देते हैं. उतना टाइम आपका पेट्रोल भी बचेगा. Beautiful ideas, successful ideas, right? Which is सब में आते हैं. They have a very clear branding and marketing strategy. See over here, I have pointed out people to have a few takeaways today, value proposition being one of them. Okay? What is the value proposition of your product?
What value the new product will give or new service will give?
Value that your product will give or add. Okay?
What value the customer will get?
What value will the customer get?
Normally, the first customer pay how much value in return he is getting.
Absolutely right. Very correlated. The difference is exactly that. It's beautiful. Imagine, हम क्या कर रहे हैं? Product बना रहे हैं, हम अपना सोच रहे हैं, हम अपने product का सोच रहे हैं. We need to become the other part. We need to say, मैं customer हूँ, मैं ये product ले रहा हूँ, मुझे फायदा क्या हो रहा है?
It's a win-win situation.
It's absolutely a game changer the moment you start approaching it from a customer point of view. Your value proposition is the only factor that decides your price. Only factor. क्वालिटी देने वाले वहाँ बहुत बैठे हैं. आपकी क्वालिटी देख के कोई अपना प्रोडक्ट बेटर भी कर लेगा. नीश को कवर करने वाले शायद और 3-4 दे बैठे. What is your value proposition? How is the customer coming to you, not going to that other person? That one thing.
Service what you give.
Could be service.
Satisfaction.
Could be. Not necessarily.
What is satisfaction? Satisfaction which he gets from
So
that.
satisfaction किस feature से आ रहा है? Is it the hygiene of this hall?
The
जिसके
pricing.
हम आए? Is it the placement of Park Plaza being so central? जिसके लिए हम आए?
Pricing. What is your USP? Is your
Basically, see, pricing is decided by value proposition. अगर आज मैं बोलती हूँ, I am ready to charge say X amount from a particular school, and if that school tells me, sorry, you've got 20 other options, will I be able to price it that way? No, not really. I will have to come up with a feature that no one else is giving so that I can charge that much.
So what is your unique selling point?
What is that USP? What is that value proposition? The value that the customer is getting from you, that customer is not getting from anywhere else, decides your pricings. Why do you pay for your bags and cars 20,000 times more? Because of the value proposition that the brand gives. Holding it, you look like $1 million. You feel like $1 million. Sitting in it, you feel like, oh my God, James Bond ka aage hai.
About the experience we give if I have to.
It could be experience. It could be a feature. It could be something like, I want a Korean glass skin. It is only this particular cream that is giving that little sheen on my face. No other cream does. मेरे को ना वो केमिकल का नाम पता है ना मुझे जानना है. मुझे बस ये पता है मैं XYZ क्रीम खरीदती हूँ तो everyone compliments me. There is a certain glow on my face. That's the value proposition. आज वो अगर 250 रुपये बढ़ा दे अपना value, and again, I won't say no. Organic food. How many of us are in trap of it? Do we go and check कौन सी जगह farm हो रहा है? Do we go and check किन हाथों से pack हो रहा है? How do we know it's organic? But वहाँ पे इतना बड़ा बड़ा लिख के आ गया organic. You are ready to pay 100 rupees more.
Double.
Right? That's their value proposition. अब organic की field में आ गए 50. So अब आप उसमें से कौन सा लोगे? Well, किसी का value proposition हो सकता है शाहरुख खान आके बोल रहा है कि ये खाओगे तो 60 में भी मेरे जैसे लगो. That's the value proposition. They're ready to pay like couple of crores for their value proposition. That only big people endorse it. Byju's, what was their value proposition? घर बैठे हर सब्जेक्ट की हर बच्चे को one on one पढ़ाई. Very metro concept. Byju's and all are not doing that well in smaller towns. We still go to our favorite teacher. But metros, no one has time, no one has the energy, no one has the capacity. It's doing brilliantly well. और कम से कम 8 या 10 करोड़ की तो population in 4 या 6 शहरों की ही है. That's business. So please understand your branding and marketing focused on your value proposition is the only key factor that will decide your price, nothing else. आप अपनी packaging, this and that, जो भी कर लेंगे, it is all extra, it is all beautification. Please find what is your value proposition before that. Do not launch yourself in the market. Again, please listen. Do not launch yourself in the market without a prototype. Your prototyping means, if we come back to say something as simple as bespoke Rakhis next year. horoscopically with the right gemstone, with whatever. This is just like sprouting out. Please make a prototype. आपने से पहले के सारे steps कर ही लिए हैं. People have told you it's a great idea. You have done a market research. Make a prototype. Give it to a few friends. People you trust. Certain market. There are professionals who do surveys for you. Reach out. Give your prototype to them. Let people wear that rakhi. Give a feedback. Thread was so comfortable. It didn't come out. क्या होती है सबसे बड़ी problem राखी बांधते से खुल जाती है. Maybe you've come up with a solution for that. Oh, you know what? I don't know the power that this stone gave me while wearing it, but this amethyst looks gorgeous. Take your feedback. Or, no, I'm not buying this 350 rupees patthar for my brother. He's not worth it. Or whatever is the reason. Edulabs मुझे 500 का देता है, 351 की मैंने राखी नहीं देनी. Whatever. Whatever is the feedback of the market, please take it through your prototype. Once you're sure, देखो prototype does not mean कि आपका product खराब है. Prototype means मुझे इसमें ये changes करके फिर relaunch करना है या launch करना है. So prototyping को ignore ना करें. That's your fourth step. Once you build a prototype, get your feedback. That's when you yes please.
How would you do that for a service?
Sure. So very good question. Thank you for asking that.
The same question, mine for you also, since you're in the
Yes.
sector. How
Yes.
do you do this prototyping?
Sure.
There is no prototype.
So I'll give you a very recent example. All right. School started approaching us for training their teachers in communication, and it was a very local problem to begin with because Punjab takes a certain accent. It's very colloquial. It's very local. Teachers are very well educated and very well turned out, but pronunciation check, grammatical errors somehow keep them a little one step behind than probably someone from Delhi or Bombay or Bangalore. So we got approached, and we have an entire public speaking module in place for professionals, for children, for everyone who had never indulged in something like teachers. So we told the school, we'll make the program, give us 1 week of only 5 teachers. It's a prototype. If you're happy with it, if you need to tune in or tune out our service in some manner, that's when we proceed and that's when you pay us. We don't even want money right now. That was a classic prototype. I mean, money was very secondary. So in that 7 days or 8 days that we did the prototyping, what did I learn? That teachers have very limited time, patience, energy because उनका पूरा 8 घंटे काम चल रहा है. So we had to make it more interactive. We cut out on our theory by numbers. We said, okay, what? Today we're doing body language, simple. This, action. Let's do this, let's do that. Lot of team activities. So that kind of gave them a little pump of having a little fun time with their friends, teaming up and all of that. The energy started coming in. When the energy started coming in, our class 3 and 4 started getting better. So we learned, when you are trying to provide a prototype of a service, you collect a very generic crowd, give them that service, take a feedback on that service. You have professional companies surveying your prototype. You don't even have to reach out. If you are attached to a professional company for your prototyping and conducting the survey, they'll be happy to do it for you. If you want to do it organically your way, say for example a salon. Salons are services. Ultimately my hair is being applied by a product, but it's in the category of a service. What if the wait period is too much? Just launch it with 20-30 soft launches. Yही होती है. You want your close ones to come by, try, test, you tune in, tune out, and that's when you launch.
I have another question.
Yeah.
So this was about the service of education. What about if we are talking about a marketplace, let's say Flipkart?
Sure.
So they don't deal with a product of their own, but they are selling others' products over there.
Correct.
So how do you do this prototype thing with that, and how do you take it forward?
So basically we're talking about a third party bringing in profit.
You have this startup is a marketplace.
A marketplace.
So how will you do that?
The prototyping of whether your marketplace works or not. I think start from very limited products that you think are a hot seller, like the demand is great. Do not launch your website or go all out marketing it before you've done your prototype, which means you circulate it only to say your LMA circle. Take a feedback, tell them, just order. We just want to see the system work. Courier time पे हो रहा है, packaging अच्छी आ रही है, product की quality जो हम third party से ले रहे हैं अच्छी है कि नहीं है. Do we need to cut down on our delivery time? Do we need to change our delivery partner? Is our website taking the cart and the system well? Is it looking pretty? You do it, you prototype anything with a limited audience to take feedback, and anything can be prototyped. Alright? So, can I go ahead? Any questions? Alright. Once you're through with prototyping, that's your next step. Develop a business plan. Very simple. Everything is in place. What are you wanting to do? Where is your entire pitch deck? इसके बाद आप जाओगे पैसा मांगने, तो अब तो आपका पूरा फ्यूचर क्लियर होना चाहिए. You've prototyped it, you've tuned it. आपके सामने अब एक perfect product ready है. What is your strategy? Trains में भी देना है, planes में भी देना है, restaurants में भी देना है. What? Where? कितना पैसा मांगने जाओगे? इतना? Not really. You need to have a business plan to create your pitch deck, which entails a market, business model, strategies, financial projections. कोई भी आपसे अगर आज आपका अपना भी बोलता है कि I need a couple of lakhs, what is the first thing in your mind? कब आएगा वापस? When you returning it? Your financiers would want to know उनका पैसा कब वापस आ रहा है. So what is your financial projection that this bottle with जिसका cost price मुश्किल से 70 पैसे है, जिसको मैं 10 रुपए पे बेच रही हूँ, उसको मैं कम से कम नहीं तो XYZ tons में बेचूंगी, तो profit ही profit है. So please have a very clear business plan at this stage ready, because you've done the rest. It's all in place. Then go to the sharks. That's where the money lies. Very quickly, who's going to analyze this for me? And then I'm going to give you one line on each. Bootstrapping, angel investors, venture capitalists, crowdfunding. You don't have to answer all. Whatever you know. Yes, please.
Crowdfunding.
Yeah, what is that?
Online when we build one of the application to seek the money from the people.
Correct. They are general public. कहाँ से पैसा आ रहा है? छोटी amount आ रही है, बड़ी amount आ रही है. Can you tell me if that's a good way to fund a business?
Yes. But not absolutely.
And why?
Because we can't measure the community. The way we want the money, people can't rely on us.
Correct.
Whether it be us.
Correct. These are just promises being made of a good business to them. It's not a very trustworthy way. Great answer. Thank you so much. Yes.
Bootstrapping is using your own money.
Yeah. It's family money. It's your own savings. You're basically not reaching up. Sometimes you have a tradition of family loans, which is, I think, a great idea. You're also feeling the pressure of returning the money back to your family, so you're being very professional about it. And at the same time, it's घर का पैसा, so you know that you can risk it a bit. अगर 4 का 6 महीने लग जाता है, so family is not going to hound you. So family loans, I'm a huge fan of it if somehow it works. If there is more needed, and
Project funding too. Government project fund करती है अगर आपके
government funding, yeah, sure, absolutely. Government funding is always there for startups too. Angel investors.
Something like Shark Tank, where one of the persons becomes your angel to start and invests.
Right. So that's angel investing perfectly right. They are your angels. The biggest difference between angel and venture.
Venture, you have to give equity stake, and venture capitalists basically they invest in risky or new type of projects. Initially, you have to pay very less, but when the startup starts growing, then you have to give the share in the profits.
Okay, so even honestly, angel investors might give you something out of growth or for equity. So equity can play a part in both. Sometimes even angel investors
have right in the business affairs.
That's one feature. Very important difference here for you to understand is angel investors अपना पैसा लगाते हैं. Venture capitalists fund लाते हैं. That is the biggest difference. So if I'm a venture capitalist and I have say around 300-400 crores to lend to the market, वो मेरा नहीं है. मैंने किसी को प्रॉमिस किया है अपने ये वाले टेबल वालों से कि अपने 100 करोड़ दो, मैं इनको 2 साल में 200 करके देती हूँ. So I have
mutual funds, like mutual funds.
Similar, but for investing in particularly in businesses. Alright? So venture capitalists end up funding much more, like larger projects, bigger projects, because they have दूसरों का पैसा भी. Angel investors are using their personal funds. It's their money, so they have a capital. Absolutely. When your pitch deck is ready, you need to choose where you want to go, what kind. There is no limit to just going to one. Please reach out to as many fund givers as possible out there. It could be a mix of two, but if unsure, have some professional involved where money matters are concerned. You don't want to get it wrong at this stage. This is a very sensitive stage. You don't want to get it wrong at this stage. This is where your wealth managers, investors, financiers, all of those, the entire group is involved, and this is that stage. Please take benefit of services that are out there. Second last, launch because you're making a mindful attempt now. Do it with a lot of pride, with a lot of strategy. Do it subtly only if you're unsure and if it's a soft launch. Otherwise, go all out if you've done all your steps prior to it correctly. Again, जरूरत नहीं है कि हम celebrities को ही लाएं, influencers को ही involve करें. Media is very powerful today. If you market yourself well, if you position yourself well, if you attach yourself well, schools ke through if you're in that service, hotels ke through if you're in that service. Something as simple as Cremica's ketchup sachet. I think वो हमारे घर के tables तक तो था, but what was the next step? Indian Railways. मैंने तो कभी marketing नहीं देखी कि Cremica के सब जगह ads आ रहे हों या banners लगे हों. Nothing. That was their launch, and that was their step 2. Step 7, scaling up. कि घर तक तो पहुंच गए, अब देश तक कैसे पहुंचे? Trains में, McDonald's में, like your big
Public places.
all public places. So that is what your business plan of step 5 before the funds should entail. That I know मुझको अपने product को at least North India के हर घर तक पहुंचाना है, and start building your product for that. All right. These are your classic 7 steps. Scaling up, clearly, no stagnation. Be innovative, collaborate. It's my favorite word actually. I've done it most of my life and I love it. When you collaborate, the energies are beautiful. Failures teach you a lot. They're worth the collaboration, and you just don't know the power of networking. This entire effort today, I'm sure the forums that we form, the kind of organizations that we are a part of, are all beautifully explaining the worth of networking. 25-30 active people, एक CA होगा, एक कॉल उठाओ, एडवाइस लो, कोई बैंकर होगा, फटाफट किसी लोन की अप्रोच करो. You don't know what collaboration can lead to, so please scale up using any more of these or all the steps. 7 steps from my side. I am going to just leave you on this one particular slide. That would be when I open it for Q&A. Please do not make these common errors. Clearly, if you don't do any of the 7 steps, they are the common errors. But let me reiterate what Forbes says. In honestly, in one word, if you promise this and if your actual products that means one of the 7 steps not gone the right way, very clearly. You haven't arrived in simple terms. Please be mindful. You have a destination, but have you mapped out a realistic, cohesive strategy to see where and how you're getting there? Business plan. You only follow your gut. You don't listen to your customers. Don't do that mistake. I'm reiterating it again. You underestimate the amount of capital you really need. Please work out your finances very categorically. There is working capital, there is marketing, there is salary, there is also a buffer. So don't work end to end. You are not a one-person team. You might think you can never grow, you can never scale up. Another mistake, by the way, learning it from my example. We started with a partnership and then kind of started expanding. And I was like, you know what, when scale up or to launch. You're not a one-person team and you don't reach out for help. Please reach out to incubators, accelerators, financial advisors, idea generators. You literally have ideating companies today who can crystallize or probably just sieve out the right ideas out of your bigger idea. Alright? Leaving you on that note, please do not do these mistakes. That would be me for today, and I hope I have been able to impart some kind of a takeaway in today's lesson 12 session. Any questions? The time is for us to interact now. Anything at all?
Is there any guideline on the time aspect between, let's say, the first step to second step to third, and are these steps interchangeable?
See, ideally these steps are not interchangeable, they are revisitable. You can have a prototype, get a feedback, trash it all together, have another prototype. You can revisit these steps, but the sequence pretty much remains the same. The longevity of every step is totally up to not just you, your idea, the market condition, external factors. What would you do if suddenly demonetization in our case happened? 6 months, we had to stall everything. We were so unsure. Karna hai ki nahi karna hai, because the economy, no one's ready to spend money on anything, forget children right now. So it totally depends. If there are so many businesses that went down the drain in COVID, no one anticipated it. So the longevity of how much you concentrate on each step is very independent from your idea to mine to anyone else's. Idea generation in itself could take maybe just a matter of 2 days. She's sitting on a bright idea and I could be thinking what next. So let me just tell you, for example, I've also kind of started going to the factory and joined my husband in the family business, and they still are not into something like luxury loungewear or athleisure, and that's on the tables and that's for me to explore. I am not even thinking about it right now. I have no idea in my head. I have no concept in my head right now. I don't even know what my value proposition of bringing out athleisure or loungewear clothes for women or men would be. So it could take the next 6-7 months, or suddenly it could be 2 days. I got it. This is what we're going to do. The timeline is very unidentified. It's very unidentified. Anything else, people? Let me ask a few questions then in that case. Anyone in this room who's sitting on the brink of idea? I mean, I respect your privacy if you don't want to discuss the idea, but sure. So, do you want to talk a little bit about it?
Have you heard of Etsy?
Have I heard of?
Etsy, E-T-S-Y.
Etsy. That's clothing. They provide a lot of things.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Unique, handcrafted stuff. Could be jewelry.
Could be. Yeah.
Anything. So similar, I have been thinking about it much before, since long time, but I know that it's already out there from Etsy, but something where people from different parts of the world, they have, different cultures and different unique products. For example, in Punjab, in Kashmir, for example, we have Pashmina shawls. In Jaipur, we have like Lakhali chunis and so instead of going directly to the suppliers, go to the people who actually have been doing it for generations and give them an opportunity to sell it straight via oral all around the world.
Which is brilliant. I think that is such a good thought. So
In glassware.
correct. The Muranos and correct. Absolutely. So you're talking about a marketplace of absolutely original, ethnic to the land kind of products directly from the creators or the makers, not the wholesalers or the retailers, and creating a portal for that, which is brilliant. I think that's going to generate a lot of jobs. It's going to kind of highlight a lot of culture. My only challenge again for you to kind of market survey and do everything is the quality of the craftsmanship, the trends that are in, because every time we tend to go to someone really traditional third generation, you will not find very trendy things made by them. They would still be, so maybe you need to have a, what I think you can incorporate is maybe like a parallel vertical or an extra service from your company, saying we've got a set of designers who can advise you what the market requires right now, and why don't you also incorporate that as a product to supply it to us. So I'm just saying, take in what they make, but make it what people want.
Yes.
Sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes that doesn't happen, right? Like say, for example, we all travel, we all go to these really rudimentary ethnic places for something as simple as a jute bag. But when you carry it, you don't feel so excited about carrying it because maybe it's not very fashionable, maybe it's not the right color, maybe it's just overpriced and it's not what we in town for offices use. So if you can just ask them to make but what the people want, I think you've got a business there.
Awesome tip.
Good. Pleasure. But do explore it. You go to step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think incubate yourself with someone good. Take it forward. Good luck to you. Anyone else who has some thoughts or had some thoughts but never explored it? We have some very experienced ladies sitting here, and I feel very humbled that आप लोग इतने patience से मुझे सुन रहे हैं. मेरे पास आधा भी experience नहीं है. Coming from all of you, आप बताइए for the younger generation here, what are the kind of tips that you can give? आपके experience से, what have you observed? What does well in business and what doesn't do well in business? You've seen generations of business in your family, even if you were directly involved or not. आपके हिसाब से क्या ऐसी एक वो फॉर्मूला है जो कि नॉर्मली सक्सेस लाता है?
We have a business and my son has this quality which I really appreciate, that he gives lot of importance to his employees. Like I really appreciate his quality that once a year he takes them out for an outing holiday, family holiday. Though it needs lot of expense, but I think it's really worth it. So all of them, they give so much respect and love to him that they can talk to him not like a boss and an employee, but like a friend, So that makes a lot of difference.
Which is beautiful. I think when you're talking about the close-knit family feeling between employees is probably, and for a startup, I think it's very essential to exactly do that. You should work as this one creative team that's out there to achieve a common target, but together, not with usne wo bola, usne aise kiya, and you're not approachable as a boss and all of that. That's a great advice, Auntie. Thank you.
Ma'am, I have one idea.
Yes, please.
Actually, maybe it's correct or not. We have an idea, my husband and I both do farming or medical farming as a passion. I'm a teacher basically. So, what we think, we are living in a field area, जैसे मलकपुर है हम लोग, तो थोड़ा सा पिंड वाला एरिया, because यहाँ पे farming होती है. So we feel one day कि हम ladies को बुला के काम कराते हैं वहाँ से, salads, sorting and all that, packing. They are very, we are paying, उनको भी job मिल रहा है. So बहुत सारी चीजें ऐसी हैं जो chefs को चाहिए होती हैं, hotels वालों को चाहिए होती है, पर सब कुछ हम grow नहीं कर सकते. Okay, because of the manpower और हमारे पास time नहीं है. So once we thought जैसे हम mushrooms grow करते हैं, तो oyster mushroom, enoki mushroom, बहुत तरह के mushroom, एक टाइप का तो हमने grow कर लिया. तो बेसिकली टाइम एंड तो हमको लगा कि ये लेडीज को ही क्यों ना हम हमारे पिंड की, उनके पास लैंड होती है छोटी छोटी, किचन गार्डन होता है, तो उनको ही क्यों ना छोटा छोटा ग्रो करने के लिए दे, उनको हम सेल करें एंड दे विल गेट द जॉब, दे विल गेट द मनी. सो दोनों को ही पैसे मिलेंगे एंड दोनों को ही जॉब मिलेगा. जो तो हम कर रहे हैं इट्स ओके. तो इसके साथ साथ पिंड के लोगों को भी छोटा छोटा काम मिलेगा और प्रोडक्ट्स ज़्यादा ग्रो कर पाएंगे और हमारा पैशन भी
which is excellent. Again, I think आपने not just employment generate किया, but आपने अपनी capacity भी बढ़ा दी by doing this, जो कि आपको एक limitation लग रही थी कितना कर सकते हैं. It worked both ways for you, which is excellent. I think that's a great thought again.
Yeah, what I have learned is that when you enjoy what you do, you don't take it as a burden. Like everybody says कि आज मैं थक गया, I'm tired. When you start enjoying your work, you don't feel tiredness and anything.
Sure.
I think you should enjoy what you do. That is the best thing.
Agree. I completely agree. The only again a rider, a fine point in our passion when it's converted to a startup is that हमारे passion में एक business idea बनाना चाहिए. तब वो startup होगा. Passionately, if I am happy to teach 15 students around Mall Road where I live, I should be fine then. I'm not a startup. I'm just following my passion of educating students. जब मेरे पे 3 घंटे निकलते हैं, जब नहीं निकलते हैं तो मैं बोल देती हूँ आज मत आना. That's not a business idea, but if I can, which is I respect that. I respect following the passion totally. I look forward to it and I'm not bored. But if I want to convert it into a startup, it should start working as a self-sustained, growing business.
When we are the example for that, we both are working. I am a teacher. My husband is a vice president in some company, marketing. So हमने एक छोटे से टेरिस गार्डन से शुरू किया था, अपने रूफटॉप से शुरू किया था.
And now
we
we
have a land, we have a farm. उसी को हमने passion बनाया, and we are doing job भी कर रहे हैं, and इसी को ही हम आगे
Which is amazing. Self-sustained.
Formula is there. First is awareness is required. Awareness about your resources, awareness about your passion, and awareness of. And second is attitude. Startup for this year must have an attitude and aptitude for that. And then the action.
Absolutely.
These 3 A's are required for any startup.
Absolutely. Very well said. From the psyche point of view, this is absolutely right.
Actually, I'm a student of psychology.
Perfect. Psyche निकल ही गया. Absolutely. No, I think even the courage to take risks is also it's also
You can only cross the road if you know that
you have the courage to do it, you have the best, and you don't mind stopping short in between and feeling a little heartbeat go up and down. That risk-taking attitude, although it's a given for any business, I guess, but some amazing takeaways for the psyche of anyone who's thinking of a startup. You can incorporate these thoughts too. Anyone with any thoughts whatsoever? Excellent. It's been, yes please.
It's okay.
Myself, Neil Mittal. Basically, I'm a nutritionist. तो शुरू से फोकस यही था कि अच्छा खाने को देना था. तो उसी को मैंने पैशनेटली स्टार्ट किया 94 में मस्टर्ड ऑयल से. एंड देन उसके बाद से हमारे पास अराउंड 33 टाइप्स ऑफ फ्लावर्स हैं. जौ, ज्वार, बाजरा, रागी, सोयाबीन, ओट्स, मल्टीग्रेन, शुगर फ्री, ग्लूटेन फ्री, राइस फ्लावर, रोटी, और इन हाउस है ये सारा. एंड आफ्टर दैट गोल्ड का बेस्ट वर्जिन ऑयल सारे ये
Excellent. So now I think when you have the product sitting with you, you need to kind of now have a strategy to market it, package it, and grow. Nothing should be stopping you. On that note, and I'll end it with this example. My batchmate at Stanford was Archana Doshi, and if any one of us is fond of cooking, हमने कभी ना कभी Archana's kitchen पे जाकर रेसिपी जरूर देखी है. All of us. That is the same Archana I'm talking about. Now she's got millions of followers. उसको Facebook भी पैसे देता है, उसको Instagram भी पैसे देता है, वो चुप बैठ सकती है. She goes to her kitchen. What did she do? She wanted to encash on her followers now. So she came out with a product called millets.
Yes.
And now her millets market ज़रूरत नहीं है. It's brilliant. You have created a base of your followers and customers through your cooking. And now when you say तेल यही यूज करो, आपके वो 3.5 मिलियन फॉलोअर्स वही यूज करेंगे, because they appreciate जो अभी तक आप उसको सिखाते आ रहे हो. So now the entire Archana's Kitchen Millets has, as you guys very rightly said, noodles and this and that and 100, and yet she was with me in an accelerator program to see how can she make a product better. So I'm just trying to tell you, there's nothing stopping you from learning how to get associated to a professional incubator or an accelerator when people like her, and well, the cohort is of 130 South Asians. So there are some amazing success stories out there, but they're still learning. So don't stop yourself from taking that initial step. I wish each one of you all the very best. Lots of love and luck. And that's a sign. Thank you so much.
What a learning experience we all just had. Let's have a huge round of applause for Ms. Divya Oswal. Thank you. Good evening to all present. On behalf of LMA Women Forum, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for gracing our session on startups with your presence. Today's gathering has been nothing short of extraordinary. Our esteemed guest speaker, Ms. Divya Oswal, has shared invaluable insights and experiences, providing a comprehensive understanding of startup that is second to none. Her expertise illuminated the path for aspiring entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals alike, equipping us with the knowledge and tools needed for success in this dynamic field. Thank you, Ms. Divya, for sharing us your insights, your valuable time. Thank you very much. There are many takeaways from this session. Thank you so much. Thanks to our organizing team, chaired by Ms. Shivani Gupta, for making this session possible. Thank you so much. I must also express my appreciation for the engaged audience. Your active participation, thoughtful questions, and willingness to learn have contributed a lot to the success of the event. Thank you. And last, thank you for part of this gathering. Thank you one and all. Today we have among us a team from Vedanta Institute, Delhi. They are here for promoting an event. They are having their event on 11th of October to 13th of October in Guru Nanak Bhavan Mini Auditorium. And they have a very key speaker over here, Sunanda ji. She is going to tell us about the values of positive living. So I request all of you, please be a part of this wonderful event. Their team is with us, and if you have any questions regarding this event, you are free to answer. You are free to ask them, and they have bring with themselves the books. They are displayed over there. If you are keen to buy those books, and I think they are free. They are not charging anything for these books, so you feel free to have these books. Thank you so much. Now it's time for formally honor our chief speaker, Ms. Divya Oswal. So I would like to honor, and I would like to call upon Ms. Shivani Gupta, Ms. Sarneesh Chawla to do the honor.
So, Ms. Divya Oswal, I would like to mention that this gift has been made by a 9-year-old kid. This is a special gift wherein LMA intends to promote young leaders.
I love this.
Yes, and our budding artists. So for this.
This is so pretty, and it's a beautiful thought. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now it's time for punctuality, and I would like to ask Ms. Divya to please announce 2 numbers from 1 to 8. So these are the 2 punctualities we are going to give away. Just speak out randomly 2 numbers.
My favorite number 3.
Yeah, number 3. At number 3 we are having Mrs. Meena Gupta.
Oh, thank you so much.
So, second number.
Okay, let's see. I'm just trying to, do the numerology of my family members only. Number 7.
Number 7. At number 7.
Priya Nagpur.
Miss Priya Nagpal.
Little thing we do.
Very sweet. That's very encouraging. Congratulations. Thank you. Please, so after the talk, I was really interested. Actually, I went the subject. Oh my good Lord, then you must have been kind of noting down where I'm going wrong. Very interesting.
So, my question is, how many of you know what is keyboard and how to work on keyboard?
Good as a computer keyboard.
Yeah, computer keyboard.
I know.
So now it's time to learn something about Microsoft Excel. So our next workshop is on Microsoft Excel and it's probably on 22nd of November. So this is the next event that Ludhiana Women Forum is going to take. So thank you one and all. Let's join us for a tea.
Can I give one gift to Auntie for the lovely your views there? This is for you, ma'am.
So mark the dates on the calendar. Our next event is on 22nd of November.